Hey everybody, welcome back. We are in the Rum River State Forest and we're back out with the bike cabin, which if you're new here, this is a tiny cabin on wheels that I designed to be pulled behind an e-bike. I'm super excited to be back out in the bike cabin because I've added a brand new feature that I didn't even think was possible. That is right, you guys. I put a wood stove inside the bike cabin. I've been kicking around some ideas of how to heat this space in the winter time, and I know a diesel heater is inevitably going to be the real solution here, but I started to wonder if there was a wood stove small enough that we could put it in here, and I found one. So here it is. I mean, look at how tiny this stove is. This is my hand. My palm is bigger than this stove. It's made by a brand called Propane. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it is the smallest wood stove that I've ever seen on the market. Now, there are a bunch of customizations that I had to make this thing fit inside here. So I'll show you those right now. So first and foremost, we've got the original pipe here that I had to modify. It's kind of a weird size, and I wanted to be able to use a stove pipe from one of my other camp stoves so that I could use them interchangeably, you know? And here's the second reason why I wanted to be able to use a smaller pipe. It was so I could have a double-walled insulated pipe where it exits the cabin. I made this double-walled insulated pipe myself, and it was actually really easy to do. All I did was take one of the larger pipes, wrap some, it's like a heat protectant barrier inside there. It's what they use in a lot of these stovepipes. And then I fed that smaller pipe through, and that created that double-walled pipe, and it's gonna make this thing very safe to use. And then of course I added a heat shield back here, and we also have a heat shield here up top. So everything here should be protected. And the wood stove is also secured to our shelf here with these little bolts, so it's not going anywhere. This really is the maiden voyage for this stove, so we're gonna really be testing it out on this trip and seeing what works, what doesn't, and if there's anything that we need to fix in the future. Really hungry, so I'm just whipping up a little bit of soup here, and then I think we're gonna head off and explore this trail, see where it goes. It looks really pretty right ahead of us into these birch trees. God, thank you for this food. Thank you for this time to be out in the woods. Amen. All right, a little soup in the woods. Phenomenal. Hot too. I've been enjoying having soup for lunches out here lately because it's easy, number one, but also it just kind of like warms the soul, you know? Really preps you to get out and explore, especially during the winter like this. So good. So good. So we're camped right off of this random trail that's here. It seems to lead further into the forest. To what? I'm not sure. I don't think there's any water around here, but maybe we'll end up at some really cool spot in the woods. Oh, wow. So look how the woods changes from these birch trees to a completely different grove. What these are, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if you know. It's kind of a stark contrast because you got the nice light birch and this is a darker forest. What is this? Random camp chair in the middle of the woods. There is kind of an ominous quality to this forest. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's very beautiful, but it just kind of has, I don't know, an aura that's a little bit darker. I don't know how to describe it other than that. Wow, look at the wind move these trees. Well guys, I think this is as far as we're gonna go for now. It's just getting thicker. The trail is becoming harder to follow. Yeah, I don't want to get lost out here, so we're gonna turn back. But maybe we'll come out later for a little bit of a night hike. That could be fun. So just gathered some tiny firewood for our wood stove. We're gonna fire this thing up and see how it works. Wow, so this thing is taking off now. It's definitely starting to get warm. You can feel it. It's drawing really nice. Plenty of smoke coming out the chimney. Nothing's leaking in here. So far, so good. And then you guys, for safety purposes, I do have this carbon monoxide detector here. This thing will give us a readout if anything is detected at all. So it's very handy and a must-have when you're running heaters or wood stoves or anything. You know, I've said this with our other stoves, but what I really love about heating with a wood stove like this is the ability that you have to go out and provide your own heat. You know, we were able to just go out and collect a few twigs, and it's what's heating up this cabin right now. And not to mention, it's just like a beautiful ambiance. You know, I feel like there's just something hypnotic about watching a fire flicker. People have been doing it since the beginning of time, and it's just a really cool thing. been just the weirdest winter. It's been very mild temperature-wise, and we haven't had much snow. Last year we got so much snow. Not so much this year. The fire has burned down to have some nice coals. That's what I'm gonna cook my dinner over. So I'm gonna get at that before it's like absolutely pitch black. So tonight I'm going real easy. I'm gonna make a quesadilla, and I'm gonna make it by putting it on some tin foil, and then we're just gonna like set it on top of the fire. Thank you for this food, and keep us safe out here in the woods tonight. Amen. Well, that is definitely hitting the spot. So a major error that I made this trip is not bringing like a little handsaw to be able to cut wood down. I'm just able to collect sticks that I'm able to like break with my hands, and they burn up so fast. They burn hot, but then they just die out really quickly. And I would love to get some thicker pieces of wood on there, because I bet those would last a little while, like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even an hour. I don't know. That's definitely an error that I made. For a hike. Good dog. Wow. Dare turn the lantern out. Let's do it. Hear the trees creaking. Very pretty. Look at that. Cabin, sweet cabin. Good job, Elle. Good doggy. Well, guys, it's just about time to wind down, but before we do, I think we got to have a little whiskey. I was able to bring the last little bits of the bottle that I have at home, so should be good. Pretty sweet. All right, guys, cheers. Thank you, as always, for coming along on these adventures and, yeah, just supporting what we're doing here. This is an absolute blessing, and I don't take it for granted, and I pray I never will. So, thank you, guys. Oh, man, that's good. Good morning, Al. How'd you sleep? Uh-oh. Got basically a shot of espresso here. But problem is, it's not even espresso. At least we'll get a little pick-me-up. Still tastes good. All right, guys, we're gonna go for a little morning hike here. I think we're gonna head out towards the main road where we biked in and see if we can find another trail or something else to explore off of that. Looks like we got a little grove of pine trees here. That's kind of cool. Maybe we should venture into the pines. I miss them. I'm a pine guy. It's definitely a small little stand of trees, but they smell good and just makes me feel like home, you know. Back out onto the road. Look at this pull off. Right at the foot of these pines. This is a prime spot for the cabin. Holy cow. You've got just this beautiful twist in the road here on both sides. Almost looks like a wetland of sorts in front of you. And then your backdrop is just beautiful pine trees. And it almost looks like we got a little trail coming off the camp. This might be a golden retriever thing, but this dog will force me to pet her. She'll come up and then like you'll give her like 5 minutes of patty pats. Not good enough. Then she'll just go and like force you to keep petting her. And sometimes it's very cute, other times it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. So I can't just pet you 24/7. I can't. Sure do love her though. All right, we better get back to the cabin. It's time to pack up. Of course it starts snowing right as we're leaving. It's definitely a bummer. I would have loved to have this yesterday, but I'm happy to see the snow nonetheless. I want to thank all of you for watching and coming along on this adventure. It means the world to us. It really does. You know, not only is this a blessing and something that I truly am grateful for every single day, but it's how we support our family. And so I really thank you for your support. It allows us to continue to make these videos and live a lifestyle that we love. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I also want to thank our patrons. Your donations mean the world, and we really, really appreciate it. But with that, I think it's time to get out of here.